Friends, welcome to this program on tutoring and counseling. We shall take a stock. This is the first program in this series. We shall take stock of the entire distance learning or open university system and then locate tutoring and counseling and learner support services within that and proceed to discuss about tutoring and counseling. As you see on your screen, there are diversified delivery modes available to us, and all the delivery modes have learner support system and tutoring and counseling. In the face-to-face system, generally it takes place in the classroom, but there are also tutorials. There are also separate counseling sessions based on individual needs. In distance learning, online learning, e-learning, blended learning, mobile learning, this is a compulsory component of the system. But since in distance education we are operating at a distance, basically a technology mediated system, and therefore learner support could take place either face to face through a learner support center or work center for practical and internships, or there can be technology mediated learner support. But in both the cases, tutoring and counseling is a compulsory component and which takes place in relation to the course components and the course structure and varieties that we will see, varieties of other ingredients that are associated with a course. As you see, the open and distance learning and online learning system has got all these components. Of course, as an institution, as a department, as a center, as a directorate, you must have policies for open and distance learning. There are human resources for diversified purposes and diversified tasks, because distance teaching is a team teaching. It's not the single teacher which goes to the classroom and does this. There is a need for infrastructure which need to be built into, especially for learner support, tutoring and counseling. It could operate, you could think of it differently, but it could operate through a headquarter, regional center and study center network, or it could be simply your center or the headquarter and the learner support center network without consideration of a regional center in between. The study centers, especially the learner support centers, have learning resources available, and I have highlighted in red color, tutoring and counseling. So therefore tutoring and counseling takes place at the study centers, or it could be mediated through technology enabled support. Media facilities, library facilities for furniture, computer, internet facilities are available. There is also a component of monitoring and program evaluation research within distance learning, quality assurance mechanisms for varieties of tasks and units that are involved within distance education. Blended learning and convergence could be possible, that you are offering a distance learning program offline through self-learning materials and learner support centers, and you could build in a web-based learner support system for interaction and providing support, including mentoring and including student-student interaction within that. And there can be an exclusive online learning with a learning management system, websites, different infrastructure, and learner support takes place online there. There are two ways that the learner support can take place: synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous at the same point of time but at different places. Asynchronous, different places and also different points of time. In open and distance learning, generally there is print, audio, video, tutorials and hands-on. This is the common minimum that we have in an open distance learning system. You could have a three-tier system, as I told you. It could be headquarters with different departments, schools of studies. There are different divisions and centers. One of the divisions could be, or centers could be, the learner support center or division. There are institutes, there could be units and cells. There are regional centers and sub-regional centers. And under the regional centers, there could be study centers and work centers. But these study centers and work centers can directly work with you as the headquarter with the faculty and finance and administration, infrastructure, computing system, resource repository, and so on and so forth, depending on the kinds of facilities that are available to you. In my open university, Indira Gandhi National Open University, before 95-96, We had a system that the National Open University headquarters operates through its own division called Regional Support Services Division, which connects to the regional centers which are spread across the country, located in every state or called a province. And in each province there are study centers, work centers, and study centers are the face of the university insofar as learners are concerned. Though the admission will take place centrally, examination might take place centrally, but the learner support takes place, including tutoring and counseling, takes place at the study centers. But after 1996, because of the emergence of technology and because of the necessities of the programs and the program coordinators, there has been a considerable change in that. For instance, the centralized electronic media production center directly operates with the study center. The regional support division traditionally operates through the regional centers, program study centers, partner institutions, special study centers, and so on and so forth, and work centers, WC, work centers, and they all connect to the learners. And the schools of studies, the faculties, the professors, they also directly work with learners insofar as technology-enabled learner support is concerned. So for instance, you create a website and that through an LMS or through Zoom or these days because of COVID, and the different possibilities are there. There are open source, there are proprietary software for which you pay. Open source, of course, you don't pay, or even a Google group you can create, or a WhatsApp group, SMS group that you can create and interact with the learners. That will support the traditional distance learning which is already operating. The course components generally, there could be compulsory, there could be supplementary components, but you could also think of very differently to organize, and this will differ for program to program. Printed self-learning modules are compulsory. They could be printed. If it is exclusive online, they could be made available as an HTML or different kinds of files that are available, suitable to the net. There are assignments which are compulsory, the program guide, the student handbook, which tells a whole lot of things about the organization and delivery of the program. There can be workbooks or reflective journals or portfolios or case studies which can be built into the program. I would submit that this should form a compulsory part of each program. There are audio programs, video programs, audio vision, which was traditionally there with an audio cassette guiding a printed text, but which is not these days used very much because there are other alternatives available. And there is certainly hands-on and practical taking place there. But these are certainly the compulsory components that you can consider. The supplementary components could be study center counseling, but then you can say that you can make a 10%, for instance, of the credit hours that we provide at National Open University as the learner support services at the study center. So the 20% of the credit hours, the credit is defined in terms of the student study hours. In face-to-face teaching, the credit is defined in terms of teachers' teaching hours. So therefore, the study center counseling, radio, television broadcast, teleconferencing, interactive radio counseling, they could be still optional, or you can integrate them into your program. So the learner support areas, as you see here, are basically information support, all kinds of information that the students need, institutional support, supporting the counselors, supporting the students for assignments, practical, media, electronic media, examination, learning centers where the students actually have an access to the university study center, library facilities, there are counselors, tutors and counselors, assignments could be submitted there, term and examination could also take place there, and there are other peripheral administrative support including library, internet support, study room support provided over there. And there is a feedback mechanism about the assignment responses with the counselors or the tutors will be providing directly to the students through the study center, or maybe the faculty who is checking the assignment can directly send the assignments back to the students, and there are other facilities to remove academic isolation as much as possible. The regional centers, they mediate between the headquarters and the study centers, and the regional centers operate a whole lot of, including teleconferencing facilities. They could distribute study materials to the students instead of the headquarters. They have to identify the counselors and tutors over there, and they coordinate the counseling and other examination assignment activities between headquarters and the faculty and the learners. There's a monitoring of learner support center, conducting examination, organizing seminars and workshops that they can organize. When you come down to the actual support centers with the students face, they are the study centers or the learner centers or the work centers. So they regular study centers, which could be for multiple programs. They can be program study centers specifically for a particular program. There can be special study centers, for instance, for disadvantaged groups. Like, for instance, we have study centers in jails, study centers in diversified self-help group areas, for women specialized study centers for the disabled students, and so on and so forth. There are recognized study centers when you have an understanding, an MOU with a particular organization, and you organize learner support only for them. That may not form part of the larger structure of the university or the Center for Distance Education system. The study center activities are basically, as you see on your screen, that student guidance and counseling, which is provided at the study center, identification and recommendation of academic counselors. The study centers would do because they understand the academic counselors better than the headquarter or even the regional center, because they directly deal with people. If it is agriculture, the people from the agriculture, medical, from management, for engineering, for social sciences, humanities, and so on and so forth. And if it is for teacher education, they know better who are teacher educators. So they are the best people who could identify and to be approved by the faculty at the headquarters, because the faculty needs to know who are the counselors working for his or her program. A very important activities, assignment, evaluation, handling, that the student submission of assignments, and assignments grading and commenting by the tutor, and returning back the assignments to the students. I must underline one thing over here, friends, that assignment is a teaching tool. We should not consider this exclusively as an evaluations tool, that this is forming a part of the formative evaluation, and the term and examination is the summative evaluation. So therefore, assignment could be considered as evaluation for learning, to contribute to the learning and understanding and study skills, removing isolation of the students, and examinations could be called as evaluation of learning. So evaluation for learning, for support, and evaluation of learning, and evaluating the final grade of the students towards a degree. But both assignment grades as well as the term and examination grades would be contributing towards the final grade, including, if you wish, that including the learner support, which can be provided through a Google group or through any technological device that you will provide. An interaction there could also be evaluated if you so wish. Conduct of examinations, study centers generally do. Appropriate uses of audio, video, teleconferencing, internet-based, and kinds of facilities that could be made available at study centers. Extending library facilities for the students, including e-resources, open education resources, MOOCs, and such other facilities that are available. And they liaise between the regional center and headquarter. A whole lot of administration and management activities they also carry forward, because they are operating as good as a college over there, because a study center is basically a college, because all the activities that take place in a college, the same activities take place at the study center. The only difference is that in the classroom it is compulsory for the students to come in. At the study centers it may not be compulsory, it may be, or it may not be compulsory for the students to join the study center regularly. The types of support that we need to consider, I have jotted down some of the support which are extremely essential, and these must be carried out by the tutors and the counselors. Who is a tutor? A tutor is a person who is dealing with academic activities, and the counselor is a person who is dealing with personal support, emotional support, study skill support to the students. At the British Open University, for instance, when the students come in to join for the first time, there is more of counseling and less of tutoring. And gradually, when the students stabilize, and after a semester or so, more of tutoring takes place and less of counseling takes place. So informing, all kinds of information must be available: advising, counseling, tutoring, practical training and hands-on experience, feedback on assignment, and the reporting the progress to the students, how they are doing, administrative problem solving, library facilities, conduct of examination and practicals, and maintenance of learner records, because the whole database of learners records, and today it is more computerized, And therefore, computerized database is maintained at the study center. If you would extend that, you could connect that computerized database to the headquarters or to the faculty, to the administration and management through networks or local area networks, or even through proper networks. This is called a networking system today. And because of cloud computing, almost everything is networked. So therefore, you could consider whatever is suitable to you to network the database to the headquarters. So whenever there is a feeding of data at the study center about students and about many other activities that take place at study centers, this could be immediately fed into headquarter database. And those who have authorization with password protection, they could access those data and make decision making. So first is academic support. This is about tuition by academic counselors. This is what is called tutoring. Largely academic advice, define the course territory, that how the course is about and what it exactly deals with, what it doesn't deal with, and so on. The course structure itself, the program structure, the credit hours, the modularity of that, the assignments and audio video programs built into that, and different activities that the students have to carry forward, including the self-assessment activities within the self-learning printed material, and so on and so forth. Explaining the concepts, basically, feedback, both informal and formal feedback to the students, assessment of assignment responses, commenting and grading the assignments, and providing comments to the students. The comments, the margin comments and the overall comments to the students will be very helpful. So therefore, assignment is considered as basically a teaching learning tool. Secondary objective is that it is an evaluation tool and providing feedback to the students on their progress. Developing learning skills and study skills that the teacher has to facilitate, monitoring the progress of the students, and any kind of enrichment, extra support activities that the students will need. Traditionally in classroom teaching, we call them as tutorials or enrichment programs or separate facilitative programs to facilitate students, those students who are not fast learners, those who are lagging behind, that the teachers would support them. To study center also, we have the similar provisions available. Tutoring versus counseling. Tutoring is basically academic guidance, presentation and discussion, linking to self-learning materials, guidance on assignments. You should discuss assignments with your students. And if students are maintaining a portfolio or a learning journal, the teacher has to interact with the students more insofar as learning journal or the portfolio is concerned. Counseling is basically about personal guidance, remedial support, emotional support, course-related study skills. In science, it will be different. In management, in education, social science, language, it will differ. So therefore, that kind of support is provided by the teachers. Basically, it is good that if one person takes care of both tutoring as counseling, and also the same person is involved in the evaluation and of assignment responses, assignments, and providing feedback, it will be better. But in some of the cases, the tutor would be different, the counselor will be different, and the evaluator of assignments and examination papers would be different, scripts would be different. But my submission is if all the three can join together as one person in a particular discipline or the course of study, that will be really appreciated, that will be more effective insofar as the students are concerned. Non-academic support, sending out routine information, maybe through SMS service, responding to academic and administrative inquiries, processing admission, registration of learners, keeping their records, delivery of materials, supervising assignments, return around time, because there is a lot of delay in sending back assignment responses to the students with your comments and grades. It should be as fast as possible. Monitoring administrative support, and finally, the issue of certificates. The modes of counseling could be face-to-face, tutorial, practical internship that can be organized, counseling and tutoring through assignments. So therefore, assignment as a teaching tool, the counseling and tutoring takes place through assignments itself. So there could be as many assignments as possible in a particular semester or year, but it should be reasonably handleable by you. We must be able to handle it properly. Otherwise, there will be too many assignments to handle actually. Telephone counseling, counseling through letters, through handbook. The student handbook itself is a counseling support to the student. Radio and television, and there can be a network-based counseling that you can build a network-based support to the traditional distance learning for the students to provide support. The types of interaction, when you shift to a blended learning or online learning, the types of interaction could be synchronous through teleconferencing, interactive radio, virtual class, or asynchronous through interactive multimedia, web-based interaction, facsimile, or recorded, as in this case, this is asynchronous because this is a recorded video program that you might listen to later. Learner-instructor or learner-tutor interaction could be synchronous, face-to-face counseling, telephone, chat, teleconference, and interactive radio. In an online program, a chat itself is synchronous because you are at the same point of time, but maybe at different places. Asynchronous is different point of time and at different places. So email, discussion boards, facsimile, and there can be your center or university's online platform where all the teachers can interact with their students. There could be learner-learner interaction, both synchronous and asynchronous through self-help groups, charts, conferencing, or even discussion board and facsimile. So how to support e-learners, for instance, that you can have a call center, information center, a help desk, some of the metacognitive skills through web resources that you can provide, a higher order learning skills through discussion forum in the online learning management system, and there can be online counseling through online resources, interaction, and of course there is a coordination and management, the trading, and so on and so forth. The traditional distance teacher, to conclude therefore, as traditional distance tutors, we are tutoring, direct teaching and discussing. We are teaching through assignments and tutor comments. We are motivating students, monitoring student progress, conducting hands-on and practical, personal counseling, counseling at learning centers, and evaluation of answer script at the term and examination. When it shifts to an online tutor or online instructor or online facilitator, as they call it, the whole lot of activities and skills that you see on your screen are applicable to them, because this distance teaching is team teaching, classroom teaching is a single teacher teaching, and online teaching is again a single teacher teaching. So unlike a classroom teacher or beyond the distance teacher, the online instructor needs to have all these skills, competencies that are available on your screen. So friends, thank you very much, and I do hope a very brief presentation on tutoring and counseling, keeping in view the organization and delivery of distance learning programs, and where does counseling and tutoring take place, and different kinds of counseling. My summation at the end would be that even if there is a traditional distance learning operation through printed study materials and learner support center, learner center support services, you could always consider building in an online web-based support, additional support to the students that works very well, that reduces dropout, that enhances the learning effectiveness, and therefore reduces persistence and increases the completion rate and the quality of learning. Thank you very much.